Do you ever find yourself wondering whether this or that thing that you noticed was actually a message from your angels? Well, sometimes the messages are very subtle and it's hard to tell. In the upcoming conversation with Nicole, we talk about some of the subtle things that she's been noticing and evaluate whether or not they really were messages. Listen in, I think you'll find it enlightening.
No, they are. I sometimes get this shiver. I remember it years ago, early adulthood. And I'm pretty sure that is some kind of spiritual sign of something. And I'm wondering, what is that? Is that getting my attention? What is that? It's a shiver.
I'm
Years
hearing
ago, I called it, what is it?
validation. I'm hearing validation.
About what though? Because it's
So,
random. It feels random.
okay. So what can you tell Nicole about the shiver? Because she says it's feeling random. What are you trying to communicate with that? Are you trying to communicate? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely that. So what? What is that about? They're reminding me, on Facebook how they do that poke thing? It's their way of poking you. It's like, we're here. We want to just remind you. Maybe in that moment, you were just too distracted with something and they wanted to bring your focus back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that would
So
make
it's
sense.
poke.
I also noticed that, and this is very recent, my screen goes blank for a second and then it comes right back. Is that a spiritual thing?
Okay. So the screen blanking out, is that third dimensional? So it's spiritual. It's like a God wink. Yeah, it's kind of like a God wink, and they're jumping up and down and clapping and saying, "Yay, you for noticing that," because it's very subtle. And there's a bigger message there for all of us about how the messages from angels can be very subtle. And that's why we need to be very present in the moment so we don't miss them, because they can be as subtle as a flash.
I was just leading a meditation yesterday with Archangel Sandalphon, and the subtlety of messages. And if we're not aware, it will just kind of float away gently on angel's wings.
Yes.
I mean, it'll come back, but it's there. So that's interesting. So with the blinking of the screen, that's just a reminder that they're there. It's not, because a couple times I thought, am I carried away on something? Like, is it an attempt to remind me to refocus?
That's what it felt like to me. I was hearing
Yeah.
photos. So it's like,
Like a 3D focus of something that I'm letting myself wander.
Yeah, it's like
sort of unintentionally wander.
It's like the baby that's learning to walk and it's just about to fall, and you reach out and give them a hand. That's the visual I get.
It's such a beautiful way of saying, you can do better.
Well, and it's like, we're going to catch you before you fall.
Right.
And
Exactly. That is so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's the care and love that they give to us.
Yeah, it's true.
Minute.
And that was one of the biggest lessons I've ever had, was to understand that spirit speaks through the normal, natural things. Like, you think it's you, I think it's my head, but it's not. It's that single idea is just mind-blowing.
It is. And that's the beauty of the 21-day challenge, because you start focusing and noticing those little subtleties that you've missed all your life. They have been talking to you forever. You just didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tuning the channel. Literally, that's what it's doing.
Awesome. And my puppy Honey, who was part of my joy plan. So somebody earlier was talking about, their dogs bringing them joy. I wanted more joy, and I decided to get my first puppy ever. So she's 2 now. And just like the kitty, I haven't actually talked to her. I've thanked her as a soul for being here and things like that. She's obviously here for me. But how's she doing? Anything we could do for her? I want to thank her for being with me, and anything she has to say. I'd love to know.
Okay. So honey puppy, how are you doing? Oh, she's got a big smile on her face.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Such beautiful eyes, just full of love. Anything you want to say to your mom? She's just happy to be, not a care in the world, just full of love and life. That's big, Nicole. Yeah. She is specifically here to help you loosen up and be more full of life like she is.
Which was the joy plan.
Yeah.
I called her in. Yeah.
Modeling more of that behavior.
Yeah.
lightening up, which is going to, of course, spread into your entire life and bless you.
Yes, agree. And she has, and it's become apparent because the past couple of weeks doing inner work, I let myself get too heavy in it, and it took me down a few notches, which is okay. But I know better, and I know to recognize the signs and to bring some more joy in. But I pushed a little bit harder another day, and there you go. So lesson learned again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the contrast, right? If you didn't have that,
Exactly.
how would you learn and grow? But
Exactly.
she's just there to keep reminding you,
And
so
she
you don't
does.
go too far off the deep end.
And she does. And I love her. I love her. I'm so
Beautiful.
happy I have her.